We're on to our final psalm this week, guys, and I hope you've been enjoying them as much as I have. And this week we're looking at another psalm of King David. And he begins writing this psalm describing dire circumstances, a really awful place. But it is a place that he has been rescued from. He exclaims how God has rescued him from an awful place and lifted him up. It is this saving, it is this salvation that causes David to want to change his life, to live differently, to live accordingly. He wants to live in response to what has happened. Now, God rescued David from many tight spots during his life, but David here is writing, looking forwards to a much greater rescue that God enacts on his people. A rescue from the worst pit we could be in, the pit of sin. You see, this psalm is quoted in the New Testament to help us see the link between this psalm and the salvation that God offers us in Jesus. And so we can think, how do we live in response to the salvation that Jesus gives us? Well, we see some responses in this psalm. We see we trust God in verse 4. We're devoted to him in verse 8. We want to tell everyone about what he has done in verse 9. And we show him that we need him by continuing to ask God for help in verse 11. The event of God saving David has changed his life forever. And he wants to live a changed life. Because some events do change lives forever. Let me tell you a story about a girl called Kate. Kate was a pretty normal girl, and she went to a pretty normal school. She had a gap year and went to university like a lot of people. However, when she was at university, something happened that would change her future forever. You see, she met a boy called Will. But Will wasn't so normal. You see, Will was a prince and would one day be the king. Her and Will fell in love and they got married. And from that point, she was a princess. She was a future queen. Now that is actually a true story. And Kate is now called the Duchess of Cambridge. Her whole life has been changed because now she's part of the royal family. You know, she dresses like it. She acts like it. She speaks like it because everything has changed. Now, we've had a far greater event happen to us to change our lives. We have been wonderfully saved by Jesus, and so our lives are totally changed. Our lives should be totally different because of Jesus. Just like Kate, who now is the Duchess of Cambridge, we should be changed because of Jesus, because Jesus has saved us from sin, from that slimy pit that the psalm describes. We should trust God forever. We should serve God. We should want to tell everyone about how Jesus has saved us. And we should keep asking God for help in everything we do. Because we live like this in response to being saved. We live by faith, the Bible calls it, in response to what God has done for us.